I want to welcome you to the 2024 State of the City and Annual Meeting. I am Christina Hudson. I am CEO of OneRedmond, and I'm thrilled to be here and see you all here today in this beautiful new Redmond Senior and Community Center. Before we begin our program, I'd like to thank all the organizations and our sponsors for their support in helping make this event possible. To our co-host, the City of Redmond, our presenting sponsor, Amazon, our supporting sponsors, the Port of Seattle, Puget Sound Energy, and our contributing sponsor, Pomegranate Bistro. And thank you to all of our members who invest in OneRedmond, particularly our founding level investors, Microsoft, Nelson Legacy Group, and Meta. At OneRedmond, as most of you all know, we are a Chamber of Commerce, an economic development organization, and a community foundation. And I want to take a few moments to recognize some very important groups of people. And please stand as I call out your affiliation. The OneRedmond Board of Directors, I want to thank you for your vision and support in our mission to foster economic vitality. Oh, yes. I'd like to thank the OneRedmond Foundation Board of Directors for their work in activating and supporting our community. I would also like to thank our Redmond City Council members and our elected leadership and their representatives who are here with us today. I want to thank you for your leadership and dedication to our community. Thank you. So now I would like to welcome to the stage our new board president, Steve Yoon, Senior Managing Director at Mill Creek Residential.
Thank you, Christina. Welcome, everybody. Glad to see everybody make it today. It's a beautiful day. The sun does look like it's out, and so enjoy it while you can. Just by way of intro, I've been involved with OneRedmond for a couple years, and look forward to the next 2 years serving the community. As you know, Redmond is a very special place, and OneRedmond is fairly unique in that we're a public-private, partnership. So what that allows us to do is to have some really free-flowing and open discussion between all the partners. But we've also been able to accomplish quite a bit, and so just wanted to highlight it, here. So on the business side, over the past year, we've been able to work with 800 businesses and secure $1.4 million of direct funding for these businesses in these tough times. So, a lot happened there. On the quality of life, we've been able to deliver community programs such as the Redmond Wine Walk, the Rumble in Redmond, which is the Robot Wars, and the International Winter Market and Children's Festival, and over 6,300 attendees attended these events over the past year. On the economic development side, we won the Gold Award, which is a prestigious award from the International Economic Development Council. So we're involved in a ton of things, and hopefully this is, shown with what you see in the city of Redmond today. Probably should have mentioned this up front, but most of the work goes to the dedicated staff of OneRedmond, and I'm not going to embarrass them too much, but I would like them to stand up, raise their hand, and give them a little applause here. As you know, Christina and I are up here, but they're really the ones doing the work and putting in a ton of hours, and they're extremely dedicated. Also wanted to give a special recognition to our outgoing president, Mike. Where's Mike? Oh, Michael Miller. He has been a leading individual as far as our advocacy efforts. He has a passion for our community, and we really wouldn't be here today without all of his efforts. And so, as a token of our appreciation, we do have an award for you. So we are going to force you to come up. We also will be providing a donation with your name on our behalf to this facility, and your name will be on the honor wall as well as a paver. And Michael, I will mention we couldn't afford a bronze bust out there, so hopefully this will suffice, but we do have this award for you.
right, next, I would like to welcome to the stage our presenting sponsor from Amazon, Pearl Lung, Director of Government Affairs for Amazon. Pearl.
Thank you, Christina. I think Christina just gave me a promotion. It's all good. I love it. Well, another round of applause for Steve and Michael for their leadership. And thank you, OneRedmond and the City of Redmond for hosting this wonderful hybrid State of the City Summit again. Wow, this year has really flown by. I remember it was at this summit last year when we announced the Redmond Space District, and we were celebrating how Redmond-based companies are projected to manufacture 75% of the world's satellites in the near future. It's amazing. And well, just a few weeks ago, Amazon's Project Kuiper launched its first ever satellite technicians certificate program with Lake Washington Institute of Technology. So it's a year has gone by really quickly, but a lot of great work continues to be done. And for those of you who don't know, Project Kuiper is Amazon's low Earth orbit satellite broadband network with R&D headquarters in Redmond. And our mission is to provide fast, affordable connectivity to unserved and underserved communities around the world. So as we begin to prepare deploying our satellite constellation this year, we have started manufacturing satellites at our full rate production facility in Kirkland, which is really exciting. It's really a one of a kind manufacturing facility, and this training partnership with LW Tech will provide students with skills and hands-on experience that will help them pursue careers in satellite manufacturing. We are so proud of this partnership with LW Tech, and we hope you can help us share this opportunity with anyone interested in an exciting new career in space manufacturing. So just a little plug there. Beyond our partnership with Lake Washington Tech, we are honored to support Redmond-based community organizations like HopeLink, the Together Center, One Eastside Foundation, El Centro Mexicano, and of course, this brand new Redmond Senior and Community Center where we are gathered today. And I know housing is also really important to the East Side and our communities here. And since Amazon we launched our $2 billion housing equity fund, we have committed $270 million on the East Side alone to help create or preserve over 1,700 units of affordable homes. And together, oh, thank you. And in total, we have committed $670 million across the Puget Sound region to help make over 7,200 affordable homes available. So collectively, these investments and work with many of you and the community reflect our commitment to Redmond and the East Side. We deeply value Mayor Birney and the city's leadership to ensure that Redmond continues to be a welcoming city for diverse industries and economic development, and a welcoming city for residents today and tomorrow. So it is my pleasure to introduce Mayor Angela Birney. Mayor Birney was elected to the City Council in 2015 and served as council president from 2018 to 2019 and has been serving as our mayor ever since. She sits on the board of Sound Transit, and I see around there, and then the vice chair of the King County Regional Policy Committee. Mayor Birney also serves on the Sound Cities Association Board as the past president, King County Regional Homelessness Authority Governing Committee, Cascade Water Alliance Board serving as vice chair, Puget Sound Regional Council Executive Board, HopeLink, which I serve on with the mayor, OneRedmond Board of Directors, and among other regional boards and committees. Mayor's very busy. And representing Redmond on the national stage, Mayor Birney sits on the American Planning Association Housing Supply Accelerator Steering Committee, a partnership between the National League of Cities and American Planning Association to develop, align, and advance solutions for housing supply challenges at the national level. So with that, let's see where the mayor is at her journey here.
Okay, plenty of time to drive back. Better check traffic. Oh, all days. Wait a minute. Of course. Now this is more like it. Hi, everybody.
Hi there.
Have a great day, everybody.
Good luck with the speech.
Good luck, Mayor.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much, Pearl. Where's Pearl? There's Pearl. Thank you so much, Pearl, for that wonderful introduction. Really appreciate everything you say, everything Amazon has done for our community. So hello, I'm Mayor Angela Birney. Welcome to Redmond's 2024 State of the City. And really thank you for joining all of us here this afternoon. I'd like to recognize a few groups that are here in the audience this afternoon. We have local business leaders, our OneRedmond board and staff, city council members. I see some other elected officials. Nice to see you, Vandana, and other esteemed guests here today. I'm thrilled to be here with you today in our brand new Redmond Senior and Community Center, which opened just a few weeks ago. I hope you had a chance to take a look around before you came here. Come on, This incredible building is the result of years of robust community feedback and supportive partners, including businesses, community members, and nonprofits. It was truly built by the community with the community. It not only honors our past, but it warmly welcomes our future. It is also one of the latest major milestones for Redmond. Over the last several months, we have seen years, even decades, of thoughtful planning from those who came before us, with strong partnerships and innovative collaboration come to fruition. We recently opened both the Overlake Village and the Redmond Technology Station pedestrian and bike bridges, and celebrated the 2 lines arrival in Redmond. With 2 additional stations opening in 2025, this monumental piece of transportation infrastructure will soon connect our community with Seattle and beyond by 2026. And there are a lot of parallels between the 2 line and the city. As many travelers ride the rails for the first time, Redmond itself is also on a journey, one of transformation from a suburb to a city. According to a recent article in the Seattle Times, our city has had one of the fastest growth rates in the state at nearly 5%. This increase brings Redmond's population to a little over 80,000. So please, I know that's a lot. So please join me today and let's take a ride with a few stops along the way to highlight what's happening in Redmond. Our first stop is city infrastructure, one of my top priorities. There are many important parts to building and maintaining infrastructure that, when combined, create the foundation for a vibrant, healthy, world-class city. Some of these parts are multimodal transportation. With the new 2 line and bike and pedestrian bridges, we now have more low-carbon choices to get where we need to go without cars. Gathering places, another key to a city. This Redmond Senior and Community Center, Estera Park, and the future Southeast Redmond Park all provide recreation choices while prioritizing accessibility for everyone. Housing at every income level is absolutely vital for every neighborhood. In 2021, we adopted our Housing Action Plan with the goal of providing safe, and secure housing for all. King County's Health Through Housing building in Redmond, our partnership with Plymouth Housing, and the Together Center. I saw Kim somewhere in here. Hi, Kim. And the Together Center all show how we are a leader in the region, providing hundreds of units of housing for those who are unhoused or housing insecure at a time when the city is growing. Redmond has committed to creating 20,000 units of housing over the next 2 decades for all income levels so that anyone can call Redmond home. So if you're just starting out looking to move here with your family or retiring here, there will be a place for you to call home. Our Public Works Department does a great job through its rigorous sampling and monitoring program to ensure the water that comes out of your tap continues to be some of the best in the world. You might not know that our public works staff is also out there every day collecting data and ensuring our roads are the best they can be. And now we're better able to fund road repairs through our newly implemented Transportation Benefit District, which allows the city to collect sales tax specifically for transportation improvements. One great example of all of these pieces coming together is the Overlake neighborhood. What was once a collection of strip malls and scattered housing has grown into a flourishing and diverse area. It has a new light rail stop. It has a pedestrian and bicycle bridge that goes over 520. The transformation of 152nd Avenue into a pedestrian-oriented retail main street, a family-friendly park, and apartments, restaurants, and other conveniences that don't require a car. With the addition of our last light rail stop in Redmond, downtown will also be connected with the same multimodal options and amenities. It'll be a place where individuals can accomplish most of what they want and need in their daily lives, all within a few blocks. Our goal is to create complete, connected neighborhoods that enhance livability, sustain the environment, and provide intercultural opportunities and include climate-friendly transportation options. The vision is there and the reality is happening right before our eyes. Our next stop is public safety. This topic consistently ranks as one of our top priorities for our community. 2 years ago, the city asked voters to approve a public safety levy to meet the funding gap that continues to grow. While voters rejected that ballot measure and the needed dollars, we continue to advance innovative safety strategies for the community. One way we're addressing this priority is by meeting people where they are, with a comprehensive, innovative approach for those in need or in crisis. Our Thrive program is a dynamic approach to problem solving and productive use of city resources that includes a mental health professional who deploys alongside Redmond police to immediately de-escalate crises. Our homelessness response program that helps those who are unhoused and housing insecure. Community court for individuals who have committed low-level offenses to help them onto a more productive path. Our mobile integrated health program to provide resources that reduce the need for calling 911, as well as funding to local nonprofit partners who provide a range of supportive services to our community. So with me this afternoon to talk more about these approaches are 2 members of our Thrive program, Sergeant Patty Noor with the Police Department and Captain Liz Tusing from the Fire Department. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to move this thing up way over there. Let's see, this is like in the way now. So thank you both for coming today. I really appreciate it. Can you tell us what this type of strategy means from the community's perspective and why this connection is so important?
Sure. I would say all of those programs you mentioned has really allowed us to have a much better response on patrol. Having a mental health professional able to co-respond with our patrol officers has been a game changer, just allowing us to have that level of expertise out in the field, helping to problem solve, helping to I guess, continue to problem solve even after the crisis is over. I know the mental health professional, as well as our homeless outreach coordinator, is very well connected with patrol, and they continue to work those problems even outside of those moments of crisis, which I think has really allowed us to not have to go back to the same situation over and over and look for long-term solutions.
Do you have
Yeah, your fire department mobile integrated health team is made up of paramedics and firefighters, and it's also supported with care coordinators that focus on mental health. They focus on substance abuse and aging gracefully in your community. So we try to really take this approach as whole human health and recognizing that we're taking care of people, and with people, we're going to have dynamic needs, and so we need to have dynamic options.
Wonderful. And this is a departure from what some people envision first responders really do. So what was the thinking behind this, Liz?
Sorry, give it a minute here. So yeah, the idea again is to recognize that we need to meet people where they are. And if the three of us were all to go to a restaurant, we'd probably order three different things. We're all going to age differently. We're going to have different health issues as we grow and we move through our life. And so we need to have those flexible alternative options for people. By doing that, we really increase public safety because our emergency vehicles are available for true emergencies. And we also recognize that when we take care of our community, that whether you're having, you're not aging gracefully in your home, COVID taught us that a lot, that isolation is very terrible. And maybe you have a mental health issue or you have substance abuse issues, all those things, we need to collectively look at those as whole human health and treat you with respect and dignity and understand your story and what's going to make it work for you.
And Patty, would you like to add a little bit from the department's view?
Yeah, I guess just building on what I said earlier too, it just gives us alternatives to our law enforcement response. Traditionally, people call 911 when they don't know who to call, and it's not always something that we can apply the traditional law enforcement response to. I guess what I mean by that is sometimes we'll have someone now at QFC, instead of calling for a low-level shoplift, they'll know maybe this person needs a little they have some food insecurity issues, so it might be triaged between all those programs. And best practice is maybe not to put that person in custody, but to work on other avenues for long-term solutions.
Thank you. And so what have the results been? Do you have some memorable stories to share with us today?
So we have a lot of success stories. We also have stories of when things don't go well, but just this last week, I met a 59-year-old gal. They called 911. She had extensive MS and she was trached and on a ventilator. And the family had done a great job self-managing at home, but they needed a feeding tube got pulled out of her tummy. And so they didn't have an alternative option on how to care for her. So they had to use 911 for personal care, essentially. And so we go out, we'll do our 911 event. But then what happens after that is they're able to call mobile integrated health out. We were able to provide a person to go and provide alternative transportation to Virginia Mason so that person could get their medical needs met. And then following up with them afterwards to make sure that they have in-home care so they don't need to use 911 for personal care. This lady, she doesn't want to go to the emergency room. She's got complicated medical issues going on right now. Going to the emergency room is time consuming. Frankly, it's dangerous sometimes with infection. So if we can keep people in their homes and kind of shift the power a little bit so people can plan. They can plan for their health and their aging. They can plan for their substance abuse. It gives them a little bit more power in that decision making. And with that, that's what we all want, is to be able to graduate from crisis and start to go to higher level functioning.
Did you want to share a story as well?
Sure, I'll share one that I responded to when I was on patrol. And it was an unhoused individual that was trespassing in our parks because they're closed after dark. But again, they were unhoused. This individual had multiple contacts with police being called, and our homeless outreach specialist was able to be connected to him through our patrol. And ultimately, he was connected with family and reunited with that family down in California, and is thriving and living well today. So it was just one of those success stories, and nice to see those connections met.
Great. Thank you for sharing both of those stories with us. I know there's so many more. So how does it feel to respond to the community needs in this way?
Sure. I guess we're probably similar in this. I think most first responders get into the line of work because we really do want to have a positive impact in people's lives and help people. And I do feel that these programs are a blessing because they allow so many more options when you respond out to the calls to get people the help that they need and that continued, like I said, long-term problem solving rather than just a Band-Aid in that moment.
Thank you. Liz, anything to add? All right. Well, I want to thank you both so much for sharing the stage with me today, and thank you so much. I just feel so grateful I get to work with such wonderful employees for our city that get to have such great outreach out into the community. So additionally, with the recent passage of the crisis care levy, more behavioral health supports will be available to individuals in crisis. King County will have 5 new crisis care centers throughout our region. Currently, people experiencing a behavioral health crisis often end up in the hospital emergency room or don't get help at all. These centers will provide walk-in access and the potential for short-term stays to help people stabilize. We're also expanding our capabilities using technology. One example is our drones as first responders and police. With these drones, we'll be able to assess calls more efficiently. Before sending officers to a scene, drones can quickly respond to determine the need and scale of a patrol response, saving valuable time and officer resources. These are just some of the examples of how we are providing public safety to our community, keeping our city safe, and providing better outcomes for those who live and spend time here. Even though we continue to be innovative, the funding gap still exists. In the upcoming budget, we'll need to make decisions about funding to match our need. These days, every dollar counts. That's why stop number 3 is city funding. More money is available now at both the state and the federal levels than ever before. It's my mission to make sure Redmond has access to these funds so we can help our community with generous support from Washington State, as well as the other Washington, helping make your tax dollars go further. State grants from the Climate Commitment Act and federal dollars help us buy the state's first electric fire truck. More on that a little later. Federally funded transportation dollars and money from Sound Transit helped pay for the 152nd Avenue Northeast Main Street project in the Overlake Station area, making this a street safer for bikers and walkers. Redmond Central Connector 3, our last segment to connect Redmond to Kirkland and Woodinville, which will be completed by 2025, received funding from a variety of sources, including the state of Washington, Puget Sound Energy, and Congress. The Overlake Village Pedestrian Bridge also received funding from state and regional sources, as well as local funding. And the beautiful Redmond Technology Station Bridge was paid for by our partner, Microsoft, and is an example of what government and business can do when they work together. This funding only comes with intentional effort. I have the privilege of serving on multiple boards regionally, statewide, and nationally, and I have traveled to meet with and learn from other leaders from across the country. These connections have created a thriving network of partners with whom I'm successfully collaborating on projects. The result is major advances and greater visibility for the city of Redmond and relationships that will benefit us now and into the future. And this year, our work has already been highlighted by organizations, including the Alliance for Eastside Agencies, which named me Elected Official of the Year for Human Services. Tree City USA, recognizing us for our planting and caring of trees, and the Housing Development Consortium, which just gave Redmond its Community Champion Award for our work on affordable housing for all. We are so proud. We are so proud of these achievements, and these are just a few examples of how we can leverage support from our partners to keep moving forward. We go from funding to stop number 4, economic development and tourism. This is another area where we're planning for growth and revenue. We soon will adopt Redmond's first economic development strategic plan, as well as a tourism strategic plan. These comprehensive and forward-thinking roadmaps will guide us toward a vibrant, inclusive, and sustainable economy for Redmond. The economic development plan focuses on expanding small business support equitably, fostering our innovative industries, and investing in workforce development. I'm excited to see Redmond continue to flourish as a center for arts, culture, connectivity, innovation, and natural beauty. Through the update of our comprehensive plan, we are creating the Overlake Intercultural District to highlight the city's unique, ethnically diverse characteristics through the people who live and businesses who thrive there. These plans shape our city's economic future and foster sustainable growth and prosperity for all residents, businesses, employees, and visitors. On to stop number 5, a look at the environment and sustainability. Climate change has been going in the wrong direction for some time, and will take all of us to reverse course to save our planet for future generations. As a city, we are using partnerships, innovative technology, and intentional program changes to do our part. I joined the National Climate Mayors Leadership Team in 2023 and attended the Aspen Ideas Conference in Miami, Florida a few months ago, where I had the chance to meet with other like-minded city leaders from across the country. Everyone in attendance was undertaking cutting-edge climate and environmental efforts, and I left inspired and also so proud of the work underway here in Washington and our city. The city of Redmond is partnering with our neighboring cities on the east side to make sure our most vulnerable community members are leading the clean energy transition. Together, we've secured more than $5.6 million in Climate Commitment Act funding and other state grants to give local families more energy efficient options in their homes. We're taking initiative to change past practices to make them more climate resilient. Our Parks Department is changing our vegetation and green space management to use fewer resources for their care and upkeep. They're putting Redmond at the forefront of sustainable and climate-friendly park management practices. And this very building earned the first ever recognition from the U.S. Green Building Council for sourcing wood from climate resilient forests. So congratulations. We're leading the region by harnessing the power of nature to reconnect Evans Creek to floodplain wetlands and improve the surrounding habitat. This will enhance salmon habitat and store water quality for generations. We're collecting data and evaluating strategies like additional street sweeping to understand the benefits on stream health. We're also greening our fleet by adding hybrid and electric city vehicles, as well as looking at city buildings and ways we can be more energy efficient and environmentally conscious. And we're excited to introduce the first electric fire truck in the state coming later this year. And thank you, Vandana. So you will see all around you in Redmond, we're looking at every opportunity to create a more sustainable community. Each step showcased a piece of our journey from a suburb to a city. And we're not done yet. As we pull into our final stop in the coming months and years, you can look forward to Redmond being in the middle of the action with 2 more light rail stations opening next year in downtown and Marymore Village, and the connection of the 2 line to Seattle and beyond by the 2026 World Cup. We will continue to collaborate with partners on a city, state, and national level to better serve our community. And later this year, we will finalize the Redmond 2050 Comprehensive Plan. It is the largest community engagement effort ever conducted in Redmond, designed to strategically plan for the city's growth in a way that will benefit generations to come. I am so proud to be able to share these milestones as examples of what can happen when we all work together. I'd like to thank our city council. I see them out here. I see them where? Are they hanging out in the back? There's a few of you. Staff, business partners, community members, commissioners, and city volunteers. You have all played a part in making Redmond what it is today and what it will become. Thank you for joining me today. As our journey continues, we know we can't do it alone. I hope you'll stay on this wonderful and exciting ride with me as we travel toward a promising future. Thank you. Adaptation.
Well, thank you, Mayor Birney, for your passion, your dedication, and your leadership.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you and what you do for Redmond. So as we close the event, I'd like to thank again all our sponsors for today's event, our presenting sponsor, Amazon, our other sponsors, Port of Seattle, Puget Sound Energy, and the Pomegranate Bistro. I'd also like to thank all our small businesses back there who have tabletops here today. If you haven't had a chance to visit them, please do so. Again, I'd like to thank our founding level investors, Microsoft, Nelson Legacy Group, and Meta. I want to give a special thank you to the City of Redmond staff for their hard work with this amazing hybrid production today. This is not easy stuff. And I want to thank you to the OneRedmond team for making this happen, particularly Margot Shiriyama and Sarah Meets for putting together this wonderful event. And last but certainly not least, yes, I said that right. Thank you for all being here. And I want to remind you that this is open, this whole facility, and I would love for you to go walk around and see it for yourselves. And for those of you who are in our virtual audience, you got to make some time and come down here to see this space. So thank you all for coming. Have a good rest of your day.